Hi guys, my name is Rabi and I am back with my next video in the series since it's August. Oh my god, it's already August. But yes, since it's August, today we are going to discuss a very hot topic, that is how to draft your statement of purpose, also known as your statement of intent, statement of letter of intent, or motivation letter. So I am assuming most of you must be preparing to apply to universities abroad, and some of you also requested me to talk about this subject. So thank you for your suggestions, and here I am, and hopefully this is going to be helpful for you guys. So when you're drafting your statement of purpose, there are four things you need to focus on. So first of all, I kind of suggest you to go to your university website and admission page and see what they're actually asking you, because different universities ask different questions and they want you to address those questions in your statement of purpose. But for most Canadian universities, and especially for UBC, these are the most four most common things you need to focus on, and these are the questions you need to answer. Number one being what makes you a suitable candidate. Number two, what makes you different. Number three, what why that university. And number four, why that country. So these are the most common questions you need to answer in your statement of purpose. For doesn't matter what program you're applying or what university you're applying to, unless they have specific questions. So let's get into the first one. So most of my examples are going to be related to LLM, and I'm going to mention UBC here and there, but I hope you're able to relate these things to your own field of education. But let's start with with number one, that is what makes you a suitable candidate for that program. So when you have to answer that question, you need to see what are the specific requirements for that program. So when I have to answer this question, why I am a good fit for LLMCL, first thing I need to do is see what is the program about. What are the what is it that the program is offering? So LLM Common Law program is basically for foreign trained lawyers who already have their law degrees and their practice certificates in another jurisdiction, a common law jurisdiction, and they want to move their legal practice to Canada. When I have to answer this question, I am going to talk about I am number one, I am a lawyer in another jurisdiction. Number two, I have practice experience. Doesn't matter if you don't have practice experience, still, you need to focus on your legal background and your internships, and then you have to talk about. So the purpose of this program is for people specifically wanting to immigrate to Canada. Otherwise, I mean, you cannot practice law in Canada unless you're living in Canada. So I have to talk about, how I have, practiced in India or studied law in India, but now I want to explore more career options, or, I want to move to Canada, and that is why I want to take admission in this program. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is you need to show this is a very specialized program, and you need to fit yourself in those special requirements of the program. So when you say you are a law student practicing in another or qualified to practice in another common law jurisdiction, you want to move to Canada, and you want to come to UBC. I am going to mention, specify the details of this point later on in this video, but you want to come to UBC and you want to live in Canada. This is how you fit in the requirements of this program. This is the program for people like you who want all these five things, and that's why you want to study in this program, and that's what makes you a good fit for this program. Moving on, you need to talk about what makes you different from other candidates. So, to answer this question as to what makes you different, first of all, guys, you need to understand that these are the universities. If you're applying to universities like UBC, University of Toronto, you need to understand that these people get thousands of applications. So, your statement of intent needs to scream aloud that you are different, that hey, I know you have thousands of applications, but trust me, I am different. And you need to, I mean, it's basically about telling your story. You're talking to the person reading your statement of intent, and you need to tell them what makes you different. So you need to talk about how you're passionate about your career, what it means to be a lawyer for you. I think talked at extent about why I wanted to be a lawyer in first place, and I kind of attached a personal story which was primarily the reason I wanted to be a lawyer. So if you have any personal stories, be personal. It's like, you want to be personal in your statement of intent. It's like you're building a connection with the person reading your statement of intent, and you don't want it to be dry and professional and talk about simple things like, oh yeah, your university is great and I think it's a great program, and I will have your name is going to help me get a job. Not things like those. Be personal, talk to them, tell them why, what um what it means to you to be able to study at a university like theirs. So I talked about how I wanted to be a lawyer since the very beginning of when I was deciding what I want to do. And I think it was like grade 11th, I was sure that I wanted to be a lawyer. So talk about that if that is your case. Talk about community service. So my parents were heavily involved in with Lions Club International, and so was I. So I used my experience in social work, and I said that, see, this is what I have done, and community service really matters to me. This is what I've learned from my parents, and this is an important part of my life. And I think as a lawyer, I want to continue doing that. Doesn't matter, I wanted to show them how passionate I was about my profession, like just being a lawyer. It doesn't really matter to me where I'm practicing, if it's India or if it's Canada. Doesn't matter, what community I am serving, but this is just what I want to do. So your words need to show them your passion. Most importantly, you need to include examples, so specific examples of what you did, how you did it, and what role it plays in your career. So don't just, when I said that, your words need to show your passion, don't just write flowery language and, that just shows your passion, but also give specific examples so that they can relate your real life examples or real life experiences to your words. So use specific examples. I know some of you at this point might be thinking that, come on, ladies, stop talking and show us your statement of intent or give us a format or the words we need to use. But trust me, it's not going to help you, because what I wrote in my statement of intent was my personal story. And we all have our own stories. So you just don't be scared to use your personal life experiences or why you want to be here. Just, whatever your whatever motivates you to be a lawyer and whatever motivates you to be a lawyer in Canada, just be truthful and write that down. But then on number three, we have why that university. So before answering this question, you need to do your research, do your homework, see what courses they're offering, what is it that actually makes you interested in that program. So for example, when you need to answer why LLMCL, you can say it's, in Canada, there are a very specific number of universities that offer this program, and you believe that the quality you're going to get at UBC or any university, XYZ university, you're not going to get that quality anywhere else. You can mention, specific programs that you're interested in, specific clinics you're interested in. UBC also has this very interesting they have two clinics. So one is pro bono and the other one is a law student legal advice program. So they let graduate students be a part of both these programs. I volunteered throughout the year in both these organizations. So you may want to mention that like, it's real life experience. Basically, for my pro bono clinic, I was going to court every Tuesday and working with a lawyer. So I got to meet the clients, I got to see what lawyers actually do, how the system works, and how the court process works. I got to go to the court a lot, and that really helps you. And secondly, for as part of my LSLAP program, I got to interview clients, and it's very hands-on experience. So you may want to mention that in your letter of intent, that it really interests you that the graduate students can participate in these clinics and get hands-on experience in the industry. Also, you may want to say that you spoke to one of their graduates and you really trust their words and you heard some really good things about the program. And I mean, I am a graduate of this program, so I can tell you that I loved my program and I have no complaints whatsoever. So, just try reaching out to people in your program on LinkedIn, and people are mostly very much interested in talking about their programs and sharing their experiences. So, make that effort. And when you mention that in your statement of purpose, it shows that you made an effort to get to know the university and basically showing them that you know what you're getting into. On number four, we have why that country. So if you're coming from outside, you obviously need to show why Canada, why you're interested in coming to Canada specifically. So you need to, I mean, things that never go wrong are, you can say Canada is very multicultural, and it is very multicultural. So you can mention that. You can say it's a growing community. You see a lot of scope, and you can mention, I mean, it's a the world agrees that Canada's a very beautiful place. So you can mention I talked about it in my statement of purpose at length that Canada is a beautiful country and I want to experience living here. And again, like I said, for LLM common law students, it's a given that you want to be in Canada. So you can, I mean, if you want to be, I don't think I mentioned that in my statement of purpose, but if you want to be bold about it, I think there's no harm in mentioning that you find Canadian immigration policies very accommodating, because when you're spending so much money and you're participating in a very specialized program that may not help you if you go back to your own country. So you need to show that you can show that it matters for you, that the immigration policies are accommodating enough, and you have that surety that you will be able to stay in Canada. I mean, you can't be really sure about it, but then just kind of, you know that there's a good chance that you will be able to stay in Canada after this program, and that really matters to you. So you may want to mention that. Moving on, we have the length of the statement of purpose. So for University of British Columbia, it's approximately 500 words, but you may want to check university website for your program and see what is the word limit they have given you for statement of purpose. But the standard limit is somewhere between 500 to 1,000 words, and try not to exceed that. If you're using 12 font size with Times New Roman, line spacing 1 to 1.15, it comes down to one pages. 500 words come down to one page. And it's totally doable if you're strategic about it, and if you're addressing all the important points. It's totally doable. Mine was super long. Mine was 1.5 pages, more than 1.5 pages, and 700 words or something. And I don't like it now. I don't like it at all. And I'm surprised that I got admission. But yeah, I was very dramatic in my statement of purpose. But yeah, point being, guys, keep restrict yourself to the given word limit and tell your story. A good way to start drafting your statement of purpose is number one, take your time. It takes somewhere around 1 to 2 weeks. I think I took good 2 weeks. And also to start with a checklist. So make a checklist before starting and write down the points that you definitely want to be included in your statement of purpose, and that you definitely want to communicate to the person reading your statement of purpose. Lastly, I want to talk about the most important thing, and I know I keep saying this for everything, but this one is the most important. Make sure you do not make any spelling errors or typing errors in your document. That's the worst thing you can do with your statement of purpose, if it has like any spelling mistakes, especially. So, sometimes you can read your document 5 times, 10 times, and still not notice something. So it's always a good idea to use a fresh set of eyes. So share your document with a friend or your sibling, and just to make sure that there are no spelling mistakes. And also, it's always a good idea to get feedback, probably from an experienced person. So if you have a professor or teacher you have a good bond with, just contact them and see if they're willing to read your document and give you their feedback. It's always a good idea to get feedback on your document and just to see what uh, someone reading your document thinks, or what is the kind of impression you're making. But yeah, no spelling mistakes. So that is it for this one, guys. I will see you soon with my next video, which is mostly going to be about resume drafting, because I think they're kind of related. But I hope this was helpful. And unless you guys have any suggestions, if you want me to talk about something else, please mention that in the comments. And yeah, I hope this was helpful. And I will see you soon. And I have already said that. So bye, take care, and stay safe, stay at home.